I got to talk to
Thank you.
Ashley in Minnesota. Ashley, you are on Skeptic Generation.
Hey, Eric. How's it going?
Hey, I'm doing really well. Let me just get you dialed in here in the in the lower third. What in the
Yeah.
meantime, what did you want to talk about?
First off, I'd like to shout out your partner V for successfully helping me along my transition and showing me
Yay!
good non-binary characters and like exploring that option. Huge shout outs to them. They are amazing.
They are, aren't they? I love them very much. I, st-
Yeah.
yeah. So I good. So it says you want to talk about paganism. Is this another atheopaganism thing?
Yes. Well, kind of.
Okay, hit me.
So I'm a member of the Satanic Temple.
Cheers.
And I practice ritual and like candle carving and tarot cards and so forth. But what I worry about is perhaps overstepping boundaries into like shamanistic practices or the practices of indigenous people, or like Celtic cultures, or cultures from Hinduism or things like that. And I'm worried that it is ethically dubious for a white passing person to take indigenous practices and rituals.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think the cringiest call, one of the cringiest calls I ever had, somebody called in and said that their wife was an Indian princess in another life.
Fucking Christ.
And I was like, okay, number one, you're talking about First Nations people. They're not Indian. And number two,
correct.
Princesses are a thing that was brought over from Europe, like that whole hierarchy.
Yeah.
It was
the pinnacle of whiteness.
Yeah,
cannot be ascribed
but also
to
needing
First
to
Nations people.
Yeah, and then needing to assert yourself as like genetically being superior is just so cringe. I get it when it comes to appropriation, and honestly, I think that I would reach out to the people who you're wanting to like be involved with those kinds of practices and talk to them, find out what they're comfortable with and how you can be involved, and take your lead from there, because I definitely would see my boundaries as different from what theirs are. And so reaching out and connecting with those people, I think would be the right thing to do. And then also,
right.
It sounds like you're approaching it with a level of humility that I would really like. That's what I would want most, So yeah, that's kind of my first take on it.
Yes, there are many indigenous persons in Minnesota. I can't for the life of me remember what the name of it was, but there's like a map of all of the First Nations peoples who were colonized, and I can't remember the name of the specific indigenous peoples that were taken over where I live, and for that I deeply apologize. But the issue I'm running into is a lot of like being in Minnesota. Most everyone that I interact with on a daily basis is not indigenous or First Nations.
Right.
And a lot of the practitioners around are your run-of-the-mill MLM peddling
Oh,
crystal woo-woo
yeah.
people who are like, yeah, no, this is for healing, and these are like,
Yeah.
there's a local bead shop, and it's like, oh, well, this is Indian sage, and it's like, no, shut up. and,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
No,
so I don't know where I would find people. I suppose I should just do more research into it, because
definitely do. And you know, you may be really, really benefited from that research. I know that when I got involved with some native groups where I grew up in Southern California, it was through a friend who was one of the whitest people I know, who started showing up and was invited to a sweat lodge and started like getting involved with ceremonies and was invited, and they were just absolutely embraced because they listened and just wanted to be involved. And so, yeah, definitely look into it and let me know how it goes. But as far as like non First Nations people's, even in the comments, people are like, Celtic stuff. Um, you know, if that's something you want to check out too, just beware of the weird alt-right pipeline that exists in there somewhere.
yeah,
um,
yeah,
and I have heard the
there.
term, I've heard the term snow tap. Um, and that's something to look out for.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Google it. You'll see. It's cringy, but at the same time, like I just want you to find those things that are gonna benefit you and in your well being. You know, and if taking part in different rituals and things like that are fulfilling and satisfying to you in the ways that you need it to be, you know, and you're not putting people out and you're understanding what benefit it has for you, then all the power to you. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely supportive of it.
Yeah. I guess maybe calling in to you specifically wouldn't have. I should have known better, as you're of Hispanic descent. Is that correct?
Yeah,
And not
yeah.
First Nations.
So my when it comes to my indigenous heritage, it's Aztec. So I have
Oh,
Aztecan roots.
very cool.
I know, right? It's funny because it's like I know I have a whole lot more, but the most direct link is my grandmother's side, and I feel so disconnected from it that I haven't wanted to like express myself as a part of that because it's not a community that I, you know, there are not communities that I've grown up in that have like kept a lot of any of that, and so really my only way of connecting has been food, and I've been really
Ah,
enjoying that. But
yeah,
yeah, I hope things go well for you, Ashley, and I'm really glad that that you called in. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. I was hoping to turn this into a more like vampy thing as you were waiting for calls.
No,
Uh,
you honestly, between you and the last caller, I've got some more callers who came in, and this was perfect. I really appreciate it.
oh,
Thank you for looking
yeah,
out.
I've done good.
You did. You
Yeah,
did. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and stay tuned. Thank you for watching the show.
yeah. We'll talk at you later. Thank you so much, Eric, for everything you do for the skeptic community, and shout outs to V again, because they are awesome.
They are
And
awesome.
when you see them next, give them an extra big hug from all of the people they have helped.
I
So
absolutely
I
will.
appreciate you.
I'll be seeing them right after the show. I'm just going to go back upstairs and probably make us breakfast. So we'll do.
Heck yeah. Alrighty. You
All
have a
right.
wonderful rest of your day, alright?
You too. Take care, Ashley.
Bye bye.
What a sweetheart. People in the comments, I saw Theo Fungi had a comment that really kind of stood out for me. Said if a placebo helps someone relax, that's not much of a problem. It's when they cure that's lethal, or can be lethal. I would amend. And yeah, Placebos are interesting. I've had long conversations with V about placebos, and I don't know if I'm necessarily fully comfortable with the conclusions that I've come to when it comes to that kind of thing. So I will be shifting my views, and you'll probably see that on air over time.